Good evening. Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show, Red Pill Edition. My name is Leon Jones, and this evening I'm going to talk about the love that this modern day woman really has for men. So the title of this video is Modern Day Women Only Love Conditionally. Modern day women only love conditionally. Now, I am using the term modern day women. I know it's not all, but if you react to me with saying women, period, and you know I'm not talking about you, but you speak upon this topic, whether it's in my comment section or my email, then you are the person I'm talking about. Now, when it comes to this modern day woman and conditions, when it comes to women in general, women base everything off of emotion. And when it comes to love, there's certain criteria that women expect for a man to meet, even though the criteria could be unrealistic. Women have a lot of height standards, money standards, job standards. But having conditional standards often make the modern day woman unavailable to be a wife. Why? Because the modern day woman gets bored very easily. This is why I do not suggest men, when you meet a woman, to go to bed with her right away. You want to see how this woman really is, because after you have sex with this modern day woman for a few weeks to a couple of months, then you will see the real truth when it comes to this woman. And that real truth is she gets bored very easily. And when she gets bored, the sex becomes less and less. And this modern day woman also looks for drama, because women have to have drama to keep their blood flowing. Now, I'm not saying all women, but when it comes to a number of them, they justify what I'm saying, because a number of women are self-absorbed in themselves. If you look at online dating, there are a number of women who take tens to sometimes hundreds of pictures of themselves. If you look on Instagram, a number of women have many pictures of themselves. They love the admiration of guys who are giving them that attention, although they don't believe in giving men the attention that the men seek. See, when men love, we love unconditionally, for the most part. Now, we do have our conditions. Like, I'll give you my conditions. I won't take a woman who has grown children living with her at home. I won't take a woman, for the most part, who's constantly in the church, because a number of women utilize that church as a scapegoat. And I find Christian women to be hypocrites. Now, that's not all of them. I just don't go to church. But when it comes to this modern day woman, she doesn't want to listen. She doesn't communicate very well, and she has no wisdom. She believes that she knows everything, and she wants to control the relationship. This is what makes her unacceptable to be a wife. Now, when it comes to standards, there's nothing wrong with having standards. Because as red pill men, we have adopted a philosophy that we're not going to involve ourselves in marriage. Why? Because marriage is too risky when it comes to our resources. You see, that's another condition that women will love us for, is what kind of resources that we have. And she's looking for the resources not to benefit a relationship. She is looking for the resources to benefit what's going to be for her. She wants a ring. She wants a wedding, but not the marriage. And if you are following what I'm saying, this modern day woman is basically for herself. She always has been. And feminism has done a dangerous maneuver by corrupting this modern day woman. And of course, some men have also been corrupted by feminism as well. But when it comes to the modern day woman, many of them, they go to their girlfriends for information. They worship their jobs. They even allow their kids to have power in their relationships. In other words, when you are dating this modern day woman, regardless of age, you're dating everybody she associates with. And the types of people she hangs around with aren't very positive people. You have to check out her family. You have to check out her lifestyle. But you as a man, if you are going into a relationship with a woman, it can't be about her looks. The reason why, because she uses her looks to attract you. Looks aren't everything. But many women believe because they look a certain way that a man should automatically run to them for a relationship. But as I stated in my last video, most women don't want a relationship, especially the ones who have been widowed and divorced. They'll tell you in their profile that they're looking for a partner, but they don't tell you what type of partner they're looking for. They'll tell you that they're not looking for sex, but really that's a lie. They're just looking for the right person who's going to give them the resources so she can give them sex. Now, usually when a woman gives us something, she's looking for something in return. This is why you hear me mention the word shut up sex, because the type of lovemaking that she's really giving us is enough to make us bend our belief system. It's enough to make us cater to her every whim. And as I said in my 65 rules of dating, first and foremost, do not put a woman on a pedestal. And there are a number of women who expect wife treatment and you're only dating them. But meanwhile, as a man, most women do not have anything to offer you. They don't have any wisdom to offer you. Many of them don't have a lot of common sense or logic. Many of them don't even know how to communicate with a man, and many of them will not listen to a man. They believe that it should be all about them. Many women do not care about sharing their time with you. Like I said before, a number of women spend their time with their families, their grown kids, their grandkids, their jobs, their girlfriends. They spend their time with everybody else except you, but they want you to pay for their entertainment. Now, if you go on online dating, a number of women always use the line, I want somebody to make me laugh. Well, it's not my job to make you laugh. I'm not a comedian. If you are happy, you're going to laugh. Now, when it comes to men, men are afraid to say no. But once you say no to a woman, she's going to be gone. Why is she going to go? Because she's not going to be able to control you. Because one big condition that a woman has is control. Now, she's not going to tell you right from the get-go, but you will see it in her actions, especially when you say the word no. If you don't call her at a certain time, if you don't text her at a certain time, she's going to get very angry at you. She may even pick a fight with you just so she'll have an excuse to leave. Why? Because a number of women are not loyal. They operate on how they feel and how they feel today. They don't operate on, can we build a long-term relationship? And this is why the system of marriage does not benefit men. And as a red pill man, You cannot allow women into your spaces. Again, I had a woman come on to my YouTube page last week. I deleted the comments. Again, my channel is specifically a red pill MGTOW channel. I'm here to teach men. The reason why I won't teach women, I did videos on telling women what they need to do. A number of women don't want to listen. But I will help my fellow man out if they're willing to listen. But men, you also have to be trustworthy. You can't be like Benny Blanco by being jealous of my success. You can learn from my success. But when it comes to women, and I'm not talking about all women, I'm talking about the modern day thinking woman. Their whole life revolves around conditions. Again, like somebody's 6 feet tall. They like somebody that's going to take them out, spend money on them. They like a man that's going to go to church with them. They like a man that's going to watch movies with them. It is nothing wrong with being a companion to somebody. But I don't hear any woman talking about what they're going to do for a man. See, a number of modern day women today, a big condition that they have is they want the man to always be traditional. And when I mean traditional, they want the man to give her chivalry. They want the man to take her out. They want the man to do everything for her. But when it comes to doing something for him, that's beneath her. And when you deal with this modern day woman, you're dealing with somebody who is a feminist. And a feminist is one who has a lot of Marxist ideas. They believe in redistribution of wealth. A number of them are Democrats. A number of them are educated by degree, but they don't bring substance to the table when it comes to being a wife. See, as a man, you hear some women tell you how educated they are, what kind of job they have, what kind of car they drive. But guess what? Doesn't mean anything to us. Because we as men do not look for women to provide for us. We provide for ourselves. Now, there are some lazy men out there who don't want to do anything for themselves. And these are the guys who are actually living off of women, and these are the guys who are inflating a number of women's ego. And also, one big condition that women have when it comes to men. They always want a man to be a gentleman. But what about you as a woman being a lady? And then you have a number of women who are constantly on social media. See, without social media, you wouldn't have these movements like the swirling movement. You wouldn't have these women who are undesirable putting themselves on Photoshop and enhancing themselves with a bunch of makeup and hair and taking pictures from different angles to make them look like something that they're not. See, social media is virtuous. It's not real. And this is why a number of women, especially when you meet them on dating sites or social media, don't want to meet in person. Because their intent is to get attention from a number of guys who are looking at their pictures. And you have a number of thirsty guys out here. And I'm telling you guys right now, don't invest your time and money in something that is not going to give you a return on your investment. And a number of women aren't selfless. I didn't say selfish. Selfless enough to invest their time into you. Because if you don't give a conditional woman what she wants, guess what she's going to do? She's going to go to another guy. And this is why she has problems in relationships. See, when it comes to time, women are constantly moving from guy to guy to guy to guy until they hit the wall. And by the time they hit the wall and they want that good guy, it's basically too late. But as a man, you have to understand this. Your time is precious. And there are a number of modern day women who are wasting time. See, if a woman is not calling you, not texting you, she's not telling you that she's thinking about you, you have someone who doesn't really want you. She's not interested in you. Now, again, I'm not saying every woman is like this, but as a red pill man, you must understand the female nature, that this modern day female lives on conditions and conditions only. They don't love unconditionally. And again, if that condition is not met, she will not continue to date you. And if you have her right now, guess what? It's just your turn. And she's probably going to give you what she gave the last guy, especially when it comes to sex. And this is why I've said in previous videos, as a red pill man, sex should not be on your mind at all. Marriage should not be on your mind at all. What should be on your mind is you as a man taking care of yourself. This is what the philosophy, and notice what I'm saying here, brothers. I said philosophy, not movement. MGTOW and Red Pill is a philosophy. It's a philosophy about us utilizing our skills to have a prosperous life, and we are not dealing with the system, because the system enables women to be who they are, because the system doesn't check women. The system allows women to be unaccountable. And this is why women, the modern day woman, has a lot of contradictions. She also has a lot of conditions. And she always believes in who? Herself. And there are a number of women who go to church, they don't love God. Because if they truly love God, they would understand the hierarchy: God, man, woman, and child. But women love themselves. Now, I'm not saying this about all women, but you have to utilize enough modern day women to justify my message that I am presenting. And I'm presenting the truth, because you have too many guys out here who are naive. They're involved with women, and they don't understand why women flake on them. Well, women flake on you because they don't love you. And if she's good to you one moment and not good to you the next moment, and then she ends up leaving, she never loved you in the first place. And as a man, you have to be able to pick that up. This is why I always say, never follow what she says. Follow her actions. Because as a man, I will tell you this at 54 years old. From my experience, a number of women want to be entertained. They believe in living the lie that a guy tells them that they're beautiful, but that guy wants to smash and dash. Now, I did videos on smashing and dashing, but I've also said I do not encourage guys to smash and dash. What I encourage guys to do is be men and look out for yourselves, and do it without being apologetic. But when it comes to women, what's always going to hold a number of women back are the conditions and their unrealistic standards. You see, when it comes to women, what you see are basically little girls. They're little girls who occupy a female adult body. A number of women live in fantasy. And you think as they get older, it would get better? Nope, because you have a number of older women who are competing with their daughters for the same men. Now, I was on the comment section of Ringo TV Raw's video, and he talked about older women. Now, this is not for all older women, but I can tell you this about a number of older women, particularly in the black sector. And I'm not talking about YouTube, but I'm talking about the older black women even in the real world, a number of them love to hide behind church. Ladies, church isn't going to make you any better. What's going to make you better, it's your character, your personality. The reason why a number of guys run through you is because you allow it. Now, as a red pill man, I don't tell men to run through women. But also as a red pill man, I'm telling guys the reason why, particularly some of the older women, have a problem with having sustainable relationships is because they bring a lot of baggage from the past into their relationships. And when that happens, that just stresses a man out. Man's not going to be there. As a man, we want peace. We don't want war. But you have too many women who have unrealistic expectations and conditions that keep them from having a man. This is why a number of women in their 40s and 50s either have kids and never been married, or they've never been married at all. And when you are in a position where you know you've already hit the wall, your market value goes down. And I'm talking about your sexual market value. You can give a guy all the sex you want. It's not going to make him marry you. And again, I do not urge guys to get married. And when it comes to a number of women, many of them really don't have the stamina to have long-term relationships. Because a number of them are working, they're going to school, again, they're taking care of their grandchildren, they're hanging out with their girlfriends, their families. They just need some type of companionship. But many women think that companionship is FWB, friends with benefits, not necessarily friends with benefits. But as a red pill man, I don't hate women, and none of my other red pill brothers out there hate women at all. We just put the information out for guys who are looking to date women and, of course, want to marry women. We're putting the message out there because we've already gone through the system of marriage and child support, and we don't need men to keep going through a court system to make all the women rich out here who have your kids, make the judges rich and the municipalities rich. It's hard being a man. But when it comes to being a man, we men do love unconditionally. Now, I'm not saying that all of us aren't about looks, because what gets us in trouble is being about looks. But for the most part, when we love, we are about substance. Men just want respect. We don't want anything from a woman that is going to expend her energy, but for her to accept us for who we are and build with us when we are looking for a companionship. But a lot of women don't want to build with a man. They simply want to continue to party. And they believe with the social media that they have all these options, when in actuality, they don't have any options at all. You take the social media away, a number of these undesirable women would not be seen. You take online dating away, because any social media platform and simps and cucks and white knights who are telling these undesirable women how beautiful they are, what happens is these women now think they're 10s. But guess what? They're hiding behind a keyboard and they're hiding behind a photo on the internet. Because these women have no intent on having a relationship with a guy. And if they do, it is a condition she's going to place in front of that guy. And I guarantee she's going to eliminate most guys. Why? Because she has a pool of guys who are seeking her attention. But as a red pill man, it's our job to look out for ourselves. But it's also our job to teach men who want to be teachable or coachable. Because a lot of these women, too, you can't talk to them. They have no social skills because they hide behind social media. They don't have any wisdom, no logic, no femininity, because they believe in the institution of feminist Marxism. They believe in big corporations, big government. See, I'm a conservative guy. I don't believe in big government. Now, unfortunately, you have a number of black men who also believe in big government. I don't deal with those types of men either. I deal with conservative people because the conservative way is the way to go, because as a conservative person, you actually have to make your own mark. Now, is there racism in the real world? Absolutely. I'm not naive to that. But I can't blame everything on racism. But what I can blame something on when it comes to this modern day woman is their inability to love and not be accountable for their actions. And because women are the way they are today, the result of your attitude has created red pill and MGTOW men. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube. If you like what I just presented, you can comment, share, and subscribe. You can also catch me on Blog Talk Radio. I usually do my Blog Talk Radio shows every Saturday or Sunday. And you can catch all my Blog Talk Radio podcasts at 411 Talk Zone Radio Show / Blog Talk Radio, or Blog Talk Radio / 411 Talk Zone Radio Show. You can also click on the link at the bottom of all my YouTube pages. I'm also on Twitter and Facebook. But in the future, I will be coming up with more videos, because my job here on the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show is to provide helpful information for men to understand that it's nothing wrong with being a man. And for you men out there who don't understand the philosophy, start listening to Red Pill and MGTOW videos, because the philosophy of MGTOW and Red Pill will save your life. And I want to say once again, thank you for listening to me right here at the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show. Once again, my name is Leon Jones. I'm out.